everyone. Welcome to News Generation. My name is Amma. Coming up today, 3 major fire outbreaks recorded in a matter of 24 hours. A team of pupils choose to tackle land pollution to save the environment. And former tennis world #1, Maria Sharapova, has the world's attention. All the details in a moment.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.
Welcome back. Now, Akesi joins us now. Hi, Akesi. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
How has your week been this time?
Stressful.
Why?
You know, we have mock exams, writing. I'm a candidate for BEC, so everything is just so, hectic.
Take it a day at a time, and then everything will fall in place.
Less than 100 days, yeah.
I'm sure you'll ace it.
Definitely, most
Okay,
definitely.
take us through the social media handles.
Okay. Now remember, you can get interactive with us on our social media handles at Facebook on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh and on Twitter at newsgengh. Now, the water situation in some parts of the country has not improved. Residents of Nsawam, for instance, are still struggling to get potable water.
For over a month now, there has been severe water shortage in this area, making clean or potable water a mirage for most residents living here. Many residents here spend a greater part of their time on a daily basis in search of water. Children as young as 10 now have the responsibility of going to fetch water from the Densu River before and after school. To avoid the daunting task of walking to the Densu River, these young girls frequent this standpipe to check if water is flowing, but that is largely a wasteful venture.
We cannot get water, but we went to River Densu to fetch water before I went to school.
Do you do that every day?
Yes, please.
For the past 3 weeks?
Yes.
And how is that affecting you? I'm sure now, as a result of this shortage, like you said, you always go to Densu. Is it affecting the time you go to school in any way?
Yes. My name is Francisca Boachi.
Yeah, so how is this water situation affecting you personally?
Because you don't have water 2 weeks, some people is crying. You don't have water to drink. Some people used to cook. Some people used to drink. It is not good.
The Densu River, which is gradually drying up, has been the savior for people who cannot afford the luxury of traveling to adjoining towns to buy potable water, making the outbreak of waterborne disease very likely in this area. But in a rather helpless tone, Rahma tells me she has no other option. I see you are washing, struggling very hard to get your soap to even foam. It's not happening. How difficult has it been for you, with this water shortage?
What do? We have to give everything to God. It is only God who is protecting us from here. Otherwise, we don't have any water.
The water shortage, we can say, has reached a crisis level. I don't usually fetch from the river, but due to the pressing need, I have no option but to rely on it for domestic use. I use it for all domestic activities but drinking. We know the risks involved, but we have no option.
The problem of water scarcity is a growing one as the demand for the limited treated water increases by the day. The Ghana Water Company has over the past weeks embarked on the dredging of the Densu and other water bodies that supply water to treatment plants in Nsawam and adjoining communities, hoping to rectify what has become an unbearable experience for residents.
From the water situation to fire outbreaks, in a matter of 24 hours, 3 major fire outbreaks were recorded. Property worth several thousands of Ghana cedis were destroyed at a furniture warehouse on the Spintex Road. Some residential buildings were also affected in the fire, which took firefighters more than 4 hours to put out.
The fire, we told, started at around 5:30. It's been raging on for the past 3 hours. Fire officers were called in almost immediately when the fire started, and they've been here hauling on their hose, trying to, in a desperate manner, trying to bring down the fire, which is obviously still burning. It's a furniture company, their warehouse, which is on fire now. A lot of combustible in there, and making it difficult for fire officers to put out the fire. We've had lots of eyewitnesses who were present when the whole fire started. This place was also touched when the explosion started. Apparently, the explosion, when it started, hit the ceiling of a section of K4A residents, and also some of the air conditions were burnt. 2 cars were at the residence. One of the cars was also touched. It's completely burnt. The residents who were available managed to salvage one of the cars. That is, as we speak, is now parked outside the K4A residence. Yeah, so as you can see, the fire officers are mounting their ladders. Like I said earlier, the fire, if you can see in the background, is now raging on because they ran out of water. They've now brought in new 2 more fire tenders to try to put out the fire. So they are now trying to get on a higher level so they can tackle the fire from the rooftop. We have the PRO of the Ghana Fire Service here with us. He's going to tell us exactly what they've identified on the ground. You're welcome to join you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So what have you, picked up so far?
I think we are still investigating. It's too early to say it's A or B. Normally what happens is, in the course of the fire, you may identify something as the cause. At the end of it, investigation will point to another thing else. So normally we don't want to be specific that it is A or B until we finish with our investigations.
How swift were your men able to, go through the traffic in town to get to this, scene in an attempt to bring it down?
Well, our nearest station is at Nungwa Grida Estates. And so when we received the call at 6 p.m, we got here 6:21, which means 10 minutes. However, the other supporting appliances were the ones that found it difficult to get here because of the traffic. And with the first appliance that got here, it took us 10 minutes.
As at 9:34, when the news team was leaving the scene, a lot more fire tenders were being ushered to the scene to help quench the fire.
A fire outbreak in the control room of the Ghana Grid Company also caused major power disruptions in Tema. The fire destroyed some essential equipment in the control room, affecting power distribution. Here's what some of you make of the fires only 3 months into 2016.
I think people are committed, people are listening, but others are also not listening, because everywhere you go, you get some people who will say, I will not do this, I will not do that. And I think one of the major causes of these fires is the illegal connection. People feel like if they bring the meter, they won't be able to pay. So they do this illegal connection, and as we learned, illegal connection, it brings about fire outbreak.
I think they are committed because certain things they do might not be the cause of the fire outbreak.
Some people are committed, but others are not committed. And for those who are not committed, if they were to be committed, we wouldn't be having fires every month. And then in some areas like this, they are being educated on how to prevent fires. But since they don't listen, and they do what they like, we still have fires. So government shouldn't spend money on them.
I think the people in the market are not committed because some do not follow the precautions given to them by government. And others do certain things like illegal connection and cooking in the markets. which is very bad.
There's more news in a roundup. Let's take a look.
Traders and shop owners in the Kumasi Central Market woke up to yet another fire which had razed down several shops in the market. The fire reportedly started at dawn and is said to have destroyed as many as 70 shops at the 31st December section of the market. This is the third time fire has gutted the section of the market this year. 3 persons in Bole in the northern region have been killed by cerebrospinal meningitis. In total, about 30 CSM cases have been reported in the region, 14 at the Bole Hospital and 16 at the Sola Tuna Kauba Polyclinic. While no deaths were recorded at the Sola Tuna Kauba Polyclinic, 3 people lost their lives at the Bole Hospital. This has compelled the Sola Tuna Kauba Health Directorate to step up surveillance in the district to stop the spread of the disease. Ashanti Gold coach Bashir Hayford says he is not under any pressure to defend the Ghana Premier League title. The Miners so far have managed just 1 win in the league, and this for many is not typical of a team that wants to defend the title. Coach Hayford admits that there is pressure in every situation, but he is calm. New Minister for Youth and Sports Neil Lanti-Vanderpoy has stated that player bonuses will not be paid in dollars anymore, but in Ghana cedis. In 2014, Ghana's campaign at the World Cup finals in Brazil was marred by a row over player bonuses. In a bid to prevent any further mishaps, Neil Lanti has devised a measure to deal with the issue by paying the players in cedis. Black Stars will play the Mambas of Mozambique in a double-header, with the first game to be held on March 24 at the Accra Sports Stadium.
We have more news for you right after the break. Welcome back from the break. Land pollution. I can think of many ways in which everyone contributes to that. A team of pupils from the Gaku Basic School have chosen to tackle the problem as the project for Shape GH.
My name is Kelvin Soa and I'm a student in Gaku Basic School. We were once in our class last year when our science teacher came and introduced us to a project which is mainly based on science, and we were very happy to join. And we went to a 3 weeks program which took place at the Garrison Basic School, and we were taught on how to make our projects and names and all those stuffs. So later on, our group came together and tried to solve the problems on pollution in our community.
The reason why we chose land pollution was because our community is situated on the land, and in this community a lot of people are dumping refugees everywhere. Anyone just gets up and throws rubbish on the ground. So we took it upon ourselves to stop it because it was just very close to us. It was affecting us.
Land was one aspect of pollution which is really disturbing us in this community. For instance, just outside the school, you can see that all the area is full of filth, and even in the gutters, all the gutters around these areas are choked. So we must put it upon ourselves that the land pollution is one which is most worrying all the people in the area. And also the choked gutters, they breed mosquitoes which cause malaria. And to bring a stop to that, we can also help in the stop of malaria by clearing all the choked gutters in the area.
Use the land for cultivation of food. And so if it is degraded, we cannot get the food we need to grow big and strong. So we then needed to stop it first before we can move to other aspects.
We decided to form a youth club, and the name of the youth club is Planeteers.
We have chosen a motto which is shaping our environment for a healthy life.
And in this youth club, we will try to embark on the pollution situation in our community and maybe post some information on the walls and give some to the residents in the community. The club will be able to move forward, and the news of the effects of pollution will be known around everywhere. At the moment, this youth club is based in our school, and later on we'll go to other schools to introduce the club to them. And this club is mainly based on those who are interested in science and how to keep the environment clean to prevent pollution.
We also plan a way of reducing that pollution. First, we'll try to let the role of the media come in. Two, we will educate people on pollution. People who are not educated, we'll educate them on pollution. Three, law enforcement must be applied.
Yeah, since we told them about the project, most of the students have tried to bring a stop to littering on the compound. And when they finish maybe drinking water, drinking ice creams and all those stuff, they try to put it in the dustbin. And they don't put it on the ground.
We are trying to go and see the local authority and tell him about our project, and also tell him ways of reducing the pollution. And I think he's going to take it.
We've learned a lot because first we didn't know that pollution could lead to some things that we now know. So I think it has changed my mind about pollution.
At first, I used to be burning bushes, but now I know that if you burn the bush, you destroy the top soil by destroying and burning it. And so now I've put a stop to it.
The education I knew about pollution was just a little. Then our teacher introduced us to this science-based project. Then as time grew by, I started loving nature. And then I stopped everything that was connected to pollution. I started planting trees in our house to enhance afforestation.
We hope by the end of this year, our project will be in a successful manner and we'll be able to achieve what we want.
Remember, you can follow the project on social media. It's ShapeGH on Facebook and on Twitter, and follow the diaries on YouTube as well. Now, teacher trainees want government to address challenges they face in their field of study. High school fees, utility bills, and lack of furniture are a few of the many problems they face. Trainees at the Accra College of Education got the chance to speak to some government officials.
Campus Connect is a platform tertiary students engage government officials on issues that affect them and suggest ways of dealing with them. It provides a rare opportunity for government officials to get instant feedback on policy-related issues as well. Teacher trainees of the Accra College of Education took their turn at Thursday's forum. Addressing the trainee teachers, Deputy Minister of Education in charge of tertiary Education, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, pleaded with the students to bear with government as it is doing all it takes to ensure they enjoy their stay on campus.
Already at the national level, we have a working group which is looking at utilities generally in all our institutions and what should be the new arrangement. What section of campus should be absorbed by students, what section should be absorbed by government. So the working group is working to come up with a blueprint, and that is what will inform us. I think that the student loans arrangement works. It is working very well. All over the world, the United Kingdom has just cancelled allowances for nurses and for teacher trainees just a few weeks ago. So the point is that you have to make a decision looking at the big picture. Do you want to keep majority of students outside, close the doors to them, or you want to bring them in and then provide an alternative, the student loan trust, that can take care of the students, especially vulnerable groups? I think that the most responsible thing in the interest of quality education is what the government did, and we will continue to appeal to you to support us.
But some of the students were unhappy with the address by the Deputy Minister. They shared their frustrations with the news team.
With the issue of classrooms and where we will study, It's very challenging because the number of students in the college is more than the classrooms that we have, and that has caused them to overstaff us in classrooms. So some people will decide that they will not come for lectures or some particular lessons, but rather come when the class is very good for them to sit.
Last semester, for instance, before we wrote our exams, the principal asked us to pay our fees, but people had to go out and work before they come and pay their fees. They have their own personal works they do to earn a living. So because of that, they don't have that privilege. So that day, the examination hall, they were asked to go out because they haven't paid their fees. Because the fees was too high. We were paying 1,005 and then 30 Ghana was added to the fees. You understand? So students had to go out and fetch for money before they come inside. And when they came, the exams was done. So they are now going to reset the paper again.
This is not the first time students have been outraged at a Campus Connect meeting.
And now, racket manufacturer HEAD has questioned the decision to ban the use of meldonium as they continue to stand by Maria Sharapova. Serena Williams says she displayed courage in announcing the failed drug test, while Andy Murray says Maria must accept responsibility for failing the test and serve her ban. Maria Sharapova meldonium have got the world talking, and I spoke with Joy Sports' Gary L. Smith about this earlier.
It's a case of who it is being the main factor why there's so much noise about it. Maria Sharapova is one of the biggest names in world sport, not just tennis alone, which is her sport, but she is the richest female athlete in sport, which is a big deal. Now, she has a lot of endorsement deals from many companies ranging from cosmetics to sportswear manufacturers to clothing to bikini lines, a whole lot of things, car manufacturers and a whole lot of things. So on that score alone, she's big. Also, she's won many titles in her career, making her a recognizable face. And because of that, a lot of people think that she is a role model. So coming into her confession proper, she took a drug called meldonium. Meldonium is a drug that is only available in Eastern Europe. And anybody who knows the history of drug use knows that Eastern Europe is the hotbed of drug cheats in the world. Now, this drug is not officially sanctioned by the drugs authorities in the United States and in Western Europe and in the UK because they are not too sure about its properties. So, what does meldonium do? Meldonium is a drug that is mostly prescribed to those with heart problems who have blood flow issues. So what it does is that it increases the flow of oxygen in your blood and then you can perform properly. And in sport, anything that makes you get more oxygen in your blood is automatically a performance. It gives you an advantage over everybody else, which is why this drug has been on the test list or the banned watch list. They call it the banned watch list, as in they are monitoring its use for about 2 years. And so from the 1st of January 2016, it was banned. But according to her, she didn't get all the notices and emails, or she didn't open her emails. But for those who are angry with her, they say that, look, this thing has been known to have been in testing for a long time. And as at September 2015, Russian anti-doping agency says they sent email out to all athletes, so she doesn't have any excuse. She was using meldonium since 2006, that's 10 years. But in that time, it was not an illegal substance. So then, if she won any title in that time, you can't take it away from her because she did so legally. So that's it. If she had won the Australian Open, then we might have had a problem.
She said she will come back if she's banned for 4 years.
Yes.
Does it look like something that she would recover from?
Well, recovery of such things is tricky. There are so many things involved, and the conspiracy theorists will tell you that because she's white, you know, they are going to lessen her ban. So we are up to see. The ban should be 4 years. But according to what we are hearing, because she came out herself to announce first that she's using it and she wasn't caught and all that, she might be given a lesser sentence. All that will play into how it affects her sponsorships, how she might be admitted into tournaments and so on and so forth. And so she's expressing a hope that she will come back into the sport because she doesn't want to end the sport like this. However, for the sponsors, you notice that some of them have totally cut ties with her. Some of them are saying that they are watching the investigation. And some of them have decided to go with her. And so that's how we are waiting for what the anti-doping agencies will say in terms of how long they will give her in terms of the ban. And then we can have our answers to this.
One of Africa's longest-serving leaders says he will step down in 2018, and 240-year-old robots go on display in Switzerland.
One of the continent's longest-serving leaders, Jose Eduardo dos Santos, reportedly says he will step down in 2018. Eduardo dos Santos came to power in 1979 and is Africa's second longest-serving head of state after Equatorial Guinea's Teodoro Obiang. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has blamed European nations for unilaterally shutting the Balkan route for migrants. She said this had put Greece in a very difficult situation and such decisions should be taken by the whole of the EU. Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, and non-EU members Serbia and Macedonia have all acted to stop the migrant flow. The EU and Turkey, from where migrants reach Greece, have set out a plan to ease the crisis. Japan marked the 5th anniversary of the earthquake and tsunami that devastated the northeast of the country 5 years ago. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and Emperor Akihito attended a memorial in Tokyo and joined a moment of silence nationwide at the exact moment the quake hit. The magnitude 9.0 quake struck offshore, creating a giant wave at sea called a tsunami, which grew to 10 meters high. It also triggered the world's worst nuclear disaster for 25 years at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. People in Japan's capital city, Tokyo, stepped in the street to observe the moment of silence. Sunderland have signed former Arsenal defender Emmanuel Ebuye on a short-term deal until the end of the season. The Ivory Coast fullback, who was a free agent after leaving Galatasaray in the summer, started training with the Black Hats in February. Ebuye, 32, spent 8 seasons at Arsenal after arriving from Belgian side Beveren in 2004. He moved to Turkey in 2011, where he won 3 Super League titles and 5 domestic trophies. Liverpool took control of their Europa League last season tie as they swept aside a poor Manchester United at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp's side controlled the first European meeting between the two Premier League giants, and the German manager's only disappointment will be that the tie is not already settled. United did not create a single chance, and only the brilliance of their goalkeeper has kept Liverpool in range as he made a number of magnificent saves. Chelsea's Champions League dreams were shattered with PSG knocking them out of the competition. PSG were already ahead 2-1 from the first leg and continued to build on their lead with a goal from Adrien Rabiot after 16 minutes. Diego Costa equalized before halftime but limped up in the second half with injury. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's strike soon after put the tie beyond Chelsea. PSG qualified for the last 8 in the competition, making them the first French team to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League in 4 consecutive seasons. Rescuers in Kenya came to the aid of an elephant after it got trapped in a muddy hole. The animal had fallen into a dried-up well during the night, and it took 3.5 hours to get it back out again. The team shoveled dirt onto the mud to make it drier, and then used ropes attached to 3 cars to pull the elephant free. It was a big effort, but the 20-year-old elephant is now safe and well. A hijab-wearing Barbie has become a star on Instagram. The creator, Hanifa Adam, takes Barbie dolls and dresses them up in hijabs she has hand-stitched herself in mini size. Pictures of hijabi on social media have already received thousands of likes. Hanifa says she wants the doll to help inspire young Muslim women to feel more confident. They may not look like typical robots, but these figures, which are more than 200 years old, were programmed to carry out complex tasks. The clockwork figures known as automata were made between 1768 and 1774 and still work today. They can write, draw pictures, and even play music. They were made from parts used in watches at the time by Swiss watchmaker Henry Louis Jacques Jaurès and his family. Originally, they were created to show off the skill of the watchmakers. They are made to be very lifelike, so they appear to breathe, their eyes look at what they are doing, and the woman robot moves in time to music she is playing. Now they are on display at the Museum of Art History in Switzerland.
Now here are the winners of our last question of the week. We asked how you can help stop the destruction of the environment, and we had a couple of answers. Aminu Ibrahim Yusuf and Patrick Owusu are our winners for the last week. Aminu and Patrick, come by the offices of Multi TV and come get your giveaway. And then you could also win the next week by completing the hashtag #OneDayIWill on our Facebook page. It's News Generation GH.
Well, that's all for this edition of News Generation. Remember to get interactive with us on our social media handles at Facebook on facebook.com/NewsGenerationGH and on Twitter at NewsGenGH. I'm Casey Moke, and I've been doing this with... Amma. Well, we'll see you next time.
See you next
time. Bye.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.